Hello, and welcome to Unit 5 of the SBIRT Training for Social Work, Motivational Interviewing, Enhancing Motivation to Change Strategies. This is Mo Cuevas, and I'll be going through these strategies with you. By the end of the session, you'll be able to describe the stages of change, demonstrate 2 methods to elicit change talk, use a decisional balance and a readiness ruler, and describe an overarching motivational interviewing strategy that's effective in brief intervention. Stages of change. The theoretical framework that underlies motivational interviewing is that there are 5 stages of change a client, or any of us, can experience: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. So pre-contemplation is where everybody starts. They're not yet recognizing the problem or considering the change. The social worker's goal is to build rapport and raise awareness. The social worker's task is to inform and encourage. Pre-contemplation. You're not even thinking about it yet. Contemplation. The client is evaluating reasons for and against change. The social worker's goal is to help build and support the motivation, and the social worker's task is to explore and resolve the ambivalence that the client is feeling. Contemplation. I'm thinking about it. Preparation. The client is planning for change. The social worker's goal is to negotiate a plan. The task is to facilitate some decision making. So preparation for the change. Action. The client is making the identified changes. The social worker's goal is to support the implementation of the plan, and the task is to support self-efficacy. So this is where the change is actually taking place. And then there's maintenance. The client is working to sustain changes. The social worker's goal is to help maintain change, and the social worker's task is to prevent relapse. Maintenance, keeping it going. Relapse can be an event triggers the individual to return to previous behaviors. You re-engage with the client, you review the goals and strategies, and recurrence does not mean there's failure. Okay, so at what stage does a client consider the possibility of change? If you chose B, contemplation, you're right. Remember, readiness to change is a state, not a trait. Change talk. Increasing change talk. Darn. Change talk is at the heart of motivational interviewing. Through our conversations, we elicit D, desire, A, ability, R, reasons, and N, need. Darn. Change talk is the client expressing motivation to change. I wish I could stop drinking so much because I don't want to be that example for my children. Identify the change talk statements. I have to cut down on my drinking so I can make it to work on time. My spouse wants me to give up cigarettes. The doctor thinks it is important for me to decrease my alcohol intake. I want to stop taking my pain meds, but the pain won't go away. A and D are the change talk statements because they are the ones that focus on the client themselves. Motivational interviewing strategies. The most commonly used strategies are the decision balance, the readiness ruler, and personalized reflective discussion. The decisional balance, an explanatory model of behavior change. So what you're doing is looking at the pros and cons of changing the behavior. Highlights the individual's ambivalence, maintaining versus changing a behavior. It leverages the costs versus the benefits. So you literally weigh out the choices. Conducting a decisional balance discussion. You take all answers that are possible, you explore them, you note the benefits and the costs of the current behavior and the benefits and the costs of the change, and you explore the benefits and the costs alongside your client's goals and values. So you're looking at all of the different pieces that go into the decision. The second type strategy is a readiness ruler, and they can address importance, confidence, and readiness. So literally, it's a scaling question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to make a change? Not at all, somewhat, extremely. You can also use it in confidence. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you can make this change? To link the screening that you've done and a brief intervention, motivational interviewing strategies facilitate finding the personal reasons to change, increasing the readiness to change, and making a commitment to change. The whole idea is to go from the information of the screening through some of these strategies to make the commitment to change. The personalized reflective discussion uses screening or assessment results to generate a specific type of reflective discussion aimed at gently increasing readiness and the desire to change. So you work on building that motivation and that ability. A personalized reflective discussion enhances motivation and commitment. So you start by initiating a reflective discussion. You provide feedback based on the screening and assessment data, talking about it. You evoke personal meaning. What does that mean to you is what you're asking the client. You enhance the motivation. You really work hard to help them increase their level of motivation, and you negotiate the commitment to change. Initiating a reflective discussion. You start by asking the permission to have the conversation. Would it be all right with you if we spend a few minutes discussing the results of the wellness survey you just completed? Or, thank you for completing this assessment. Can we take a couple of minutes and talk about it? That helps the client feel like they are part of the conversation and not being talked at. Providing feedback. So based on your audit screening, you review the score that they have. You're right here. The level of risks, the risk behaviors, and the normative behavior. So you're talking about the score that the client received on whatever assessment you used, what that score translates to, the risk behaviors that are putting you there, and what normal is. And then you evoke personal meaning. You use reflective questions. From your perspective, what do you think? What are your concerns? What are your reasons? What are the benefits? What relationship might be there? All of these are eliciting information and meaning from the client. Summarizing acknowledges the client's perceived benefits. Once they tell you what they are, you can repeat them back. It elicits personal important problems or concerns that are caused by the use. It elicits, affirms, and reinforces motivation to change. It helps to resolve the ambivalence and reinforces motivation. Summarizing. So here's a readiness ruler, enhancing motivation. How ready are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to change? And you see if the readiness has increased. The final stage is negotiating a commitment. You make it simple, realistic, specific, attainable, and plan on a follow-up timeline. You're coming up with the plan for the change to take place. The benefits of using motivational interviewing are that it's evidence-based. Research has been done that shows it is effective. It's client-centered. It doesn't focus on you as the social worker. It focuses on the client. It provides structure for your appointment or your time together. It has a very clear strategy that you're using, and it's readily adaptable to whatever setting you're working in. Summarizing motivation for change. Motivation is an intrinsic process. It's normal to feel ambivalent. When you resolve the discrepancies, motivation arises, and change talk facilitates change. So these are all pieces you can work with your client on so that they feel the motivation come from within, they resolve their ambivalence, and they can say the things that will help them facilitate change. In the next session, we'll cover the brief negotiation interview, the BNI, a semi-structured brief intervention process based on motivational interview that is a proven evidence-based practice.